I will call these types of poker videos the Tournament Poker Diary. This will be number one. Because nobody is going to watch them but me, the format will be to remind myself of what happened in that tournament. The day was August 6th, 2019. It was a Tuesday. I wore a black and gold shirt, a new pair of black loafers, standard black khaki pants, no belt, and no excess baggage. The buy-in was $100. Now, I don't play tournaments every day. I just play for fun when I'm feeling good. But if you did play every day, $100 tournaments, you would need about 10K bankroll, specifically allocated to just tournaments, not for paying your rent, not for paying your food or other bills. That's the number one problem young poker players make. Basically, keep your day job. Again, we're talking about a $100 tournament. There was rebuys. The game was PLO, Pot Limit Omaha, my favorite. The table was very pleasant. All Caucasians, all men. The cocktail waitresses were not too annoying, and the dealers were proficient. I sat in seat number 3 most of the time, so I had to wear my glasses to see the cards. From the beginning, there was about 4 tables running with the rebuys, a little over 50 entries, and I did make the final table. Things kind of went smoothly for me. I mean, I didn't hit only one big hand. Okay, here's the hands I did not play. Look at that. The deuce ruins the hand. I want to show you the hands. I probably went a half hour to not play a hand. Again, piece of garbage. Garbage. Make a note to myself, after 30 years, of course I know what the good hands are, what the bad hands are, but I'll put these in here for the remote chance that a young and upcoming poker star accidentally finds this video and might want to learn something. I won't hold my breath. But these are the hands I did not play for reasons that are, well, obvious. Deuce 9 of spades is only going to get you in trouble. Deuce 4 of diamonds is only going to get you in trouble. Flop 2 pair, queens and deuces, you think you got something, then you get counterfeited. Or you run into a set. Yes, these are garbage hands. We will document them for the record. So it went on. You have to have patience, don't you? Yes. I learned patience from squirrel hunting. My dad taught me how to squirrel hunt as a young man. You sit under the tree and you wait for the squirrel to come. Oh, and then there comes the squirrel. I finally found a hand to play. So I was in early position. I just smooth called with this baby. I was on a table that was pretty frisky, and I could count on somebody raising it behind me, and sure enough, they did raise. I just called the raise, and we'll see what happens. Okay, so after a half hour of mucking non-starters, like I said, I caught a lucky break with this hand, and the board came queen, 3, 6, rainbow. All right, so I potted it. I think there was about 1,600 in the pot, so the bet on the flop was 1,600. Just about everybody did get out of the way except for one unlucky guy. Um, Ran out blank blank on the turn. I potted it again at 4,800, I believe, somewhere around 4,800, 5,000. I knew when he called that he had a set, and because what else could you have? The board was queen 3 6, a blank on the turn, so I knew he had to flop the set. So this was set over set, and I think I pretty much got all in on the river, and he showed his set of 3. So you really don't need the board to pair when you're heads up like this. I mean, 4 of a kind do happen. So like I said, it ran out blank blank, and I picked up a pretty good pot there. Now I was over 20K, and 20K was good. It gives you a little bit of feeling where you can relax and you can sit back and wait for good hands, which I do. That's what I did. I sat back and waited for good hands, and I hardly played anything after that. So I think there was a big raise. I let this hand go. The 8 screws everything up. I did play this hand cheap. I missed the flop completely. If you missed the flop, You let it go. If it doesn't fit, you must quit on the flop. If it doesn't fit. Now, obviously, these hands I threw away. So that's it was the secret for me making the final table. These hands that are going to get you in trouble, I let them go. And while I was throwing these hands away, guess what? Everybody else was gambling, and guess what? They were dropping out like flies. So that's the beautiful thing is when you see the three messes this hand. These are all losers. I threw these hands away, and it was amazing how many people were dropping out like flies. They were just bam, bam out. You just sit back and watch it happen. It was amazing, and I was able to make the final table with only hitting that one. Or actually, I hit two big hands. I'll show you another big hand I hit at a crucial point. We don't want to play the threes and be like that unlucky guy that I beat. This hand here, I believe I did get in cheap with a couple of these hands, but I missed the flop completely on these hands. So why don't we analyze this hand for a second? It's kind of a nice looking hand, but it's not a good hand. If you're the chip leader and everybody fears you, you can play this hand because, like I say, you might be able to steal the pot, or you're the chip leader. You might be running lucky. Or if you are really low on chips and you have to, the blind, you're starting to get blinded out. You might as well go with this hand also if you're going to get blinded out, or you can play it if you're the chip leader. But if you have enough chips just to sit back, just enough chips to sit back, you can wait for a better hand than this. This is not a hand you want to call big raises with, where you could get hurt because of the four. Now, because the four is a club, that hurts your ace high flush draw. If it was a king of spades, well, now you got a hand that's playable. All right, so let's go on this hand. Notice that little red button there. A player before me went all in. He was a good player. This hand is going to get you in trouble against a big hand. How about if he's got a real hand? He's got ace, ace, king, king. I mean, your spades, you got too many spades there. This is a hand to let go when the all-in player before you. I did let it go. Somebody got knocked out, and I would not have hit. So this hand here, I don't remember exactly what happened with this hand, but a hand very similar to this I played. It was ace, queen, jack, but I had like a three dangler. Somebody called it a dangler. But here's why it was a critical hand I played. I was getting down to where I was getting blinded out. And there's a time when you have to make a move. And when your chips are getting to a point, because the limits are going up and up and up, and occasionally you've got to make a stand. And I made a stand with a hand like this, ace, queen, jack, three. I went all in with it, had one caller, and I luckily hit three queens. There was a queen on the flop, hit a queen on the river. So that's what you need. You need to be lucky occasionally. Now, I could have just as easily been unlucky with this hand and been knocked out of the tournament. But I got lucky with this hand. Early on, I hit the set of queens, which was not so lucky, but maybe just playing more skillfully. But this hand, bottom line, you need a little bit of luck to hit the final table. And I got a little bit of luck, but your luck can only take you so far. If you're looking to get lucky 6, 7, 8, 9 times, it's not going to happen unless unless you're a leprechaun. So I got lucky maybe once or twice, and that got me to the final table. So it was smooth sailing. And why? Because I sat back and lots of people were dropping out like flies. Now, you see, a lot of people don't know how to play this game. I would recommend that you learn to play this game and learn to play it quickly because it's growing. The game is trending. People don't really know how to play it. The Hold'em games are getting tougher, so learn this game as fast as you can.